I'm super chatty today, you guys. I feel like I'm talking kind of fast and I'm kind of bubbly, and I think it's because I'm just so excited about all of the things that I'm sharing with you guys. So bear with me. You can always like slow down the audio to this podcast if I'm going a little faster than normal. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 52 of the Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast. My name is Lisa. I am coming to you from Long Island, New York. This is a podcast where I talk about all of my knitting and spinning projects and naturally dyeing projects as well. You can find me on Instagram at Lisa Westervelt Flute Studio, and on Ravelry I am Lisa Jack 78. It is a glorious day outside today. Oh my goodness. It is in the upper 60s. I think it's 66 right now. It is warm. I've got the sun just right on me right now. As you can see, like nothing has started blooming yet. So there are no leaves on the trees at all still to provide any shade. But now that the weather is finally starting to warm up, hopefully things will start blooming and growing, and yeah, this is going to be one of the last episodes that I record in this location. We actually get our apartment keys this coming Friday. So by the time you watch this, we will have our keys. However, it's Easter weekend, and both of us being musicians, we have a super busy schedule. So we're going to be moving into our new place slowly over the next few weeks and hopefully be settled by the early middle of May. So maybe a couple of more episodes in this location, and then once I get set up in the new place, we'll have a new place to record from. So I'm super excited about that. I am so excited about today's episode. I have so many new projects to talk to you guys about. Thank goodness. I have been waiting for this day for so long. As you guys know, if you are returning viewers, you will know that I have been very diligently working on my whips and not allowing myself to cast on anything new and shiny. Well, I finally did. I said April 1st, no matter what, I am casting on something new because I have been such a good girl. So on April 1st, I had one new cast on, and then on Friday last week, I stopped at the yarn shop and got some yarn for another new cast on. So I've got two new spring tops I am eager to talk to you guys about today that are both already cast on. I've got a couple of whips to share with you, but only one of them you have ever seen before. And I also have a Knitworthy segment. I have a special project that I am going to be working on for Owen. And then for my spinning segment today, I finally started plying some of my autumn yarn, and I have some new fiber that came to me from Paradise Fibers that I am just itching to start spinning. So I've got lots of new exciting content for you guys today. So I am so excited to share it all with you. Okay, so we always start with what am I wearing, and I am wearing a spring top today, so let's jump right in. I was so excited this morning to be able to finally dig out my Bright Axis tee. I knit this last summer, over the summer and in the early fall, and I finished it up maybe in September. And I got to wear it a little bit early fall before the weather started getting really cool. But this is like, I'm so excited to wear this. The colors are so bright and happy, and I really now feel like spring is finally here. And it's taken quite a while to get here this year. We have been having a lot of very chilly weather still. So this is really the first day where I really feel like spring clothes can start to come out. So let me tell you a little bit about this tee, since it is a spring knit and it is super fun and colorful. This is a pattern from What is her last name? Stephanie Lotven. There we go. Wow, I had a brain fart there for a second, you guys. Stephanie Lotven of Telly Bean Knits. She is the author of the Knit Happy with Self-Striping yarn book. And so this is one of the patterns from that book. I'll have it linked in my description box below, along with everything else I talk about today. And that book is really fun. She has a whole bunch of patterns in it where she shows you different ways that you can use your self-striping sock yarn for garments and accessories other than socks. So I saw this tee and I was really eager to cast it on, and so I knit this from that book. This is the first project I've knit from that book, and there's a couple others that I would like to get to at some point. But I used the Autumn Squash, is that what it is? Colorway of Knitworthy Things self-striping yarn. I am a member of her sock club, so I have a whole ton of Knitworthy Things self-striping sock yarn in my stash. And then for my contrast color, I used a naturally dyed Not By Me yarn that I had gotten as part of a fiber share package a couple of years ago. And so I just thought that these purples went really well together. I absolutely love these colors. I'll insert a couple of pictures so that you can better see how the garment fits. But it is, you know, it's not too long. It's not really cropped, but it is definitely, it's a good length. I think it falls right below my waist. And yeah, I'm so excited that I was able to dig this out today. I was like, what am I going to wear for the podcast today? Oh yeah, I have that top that I finished last year and this other one that I finished. So I've got a few options, and I'm so excited to show you guys the things that I have just cast on so that I can add to my spring tops collection. So let's go into casting on. Okay, so let's start with what I cast on April 1st. I gave myself a deadline. I spent a good 3 months this winter working on my whips, and those were all winter projects. So I said, okay, no matter what progress I make with these, on April 1st, I am going to finally give myself permission to cast on a new top, because I am just, the seasons are changing. It is finally spring. It's been spring for a few weeks, but this is honestly the first day that it actually feels like spring. I've got the windows open in my room, and it is just delightful out here. So I was just blown away by the latest pom-pom issue, Dreamscape. So this is their spring issue. And there are so many projects in this magazine that I want to knit. So I decided I wanted to start with the cover photo, and this is Effervescent by Aimee Sher, and it is so cute. It's like it's got 3/4 length sleeves, and the length of the body is not really cropped. What is that? Oh, it's a helicopter. That was fun. That was loud. Okay. Anyway, helicopter, guys, helicopter. The joys of recording outside. You never quite know what you're going to get sometimes. But yeah, I just, between the lace work on the top and this cute little ruffle, I love ruffles. I don't know why. I just think they're so fun. And I'm all about the ruffle. And so what I did was, right away when I got the magazine, which this time I pre-ordered. I don't normally pre-order the pom-pom. I usually get it it arrives in our bookstore about a season after, so I'll usually pick them up just whenever I finally see them at the store. But this one, I knew I was going to want to knit more than one project from, and I wanted to be able to start right away. And so I ordered yarn from the Wandering Flock. Here's what it looks like caked up. Let me dig out. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. This is their Cosmic Tie-Dye colorway, and it's like all of these pastel colors. It is so fun. Let me dig out the actual yarn here, just so you guys can see how it comes, because I definitely like to share that with you guys all the time. So this is her singles base, and it's superwash merino, and this is her label, and she's pretty local to me too. I had never heard of this small business, but she is from Brooklyn, and this is what the yarn looks like. And I can even open it. I caked up 2 of them because I am alternating skeins for this project. So this is what it looks like untwisted, so that you can see. It's like this delightful rainbow of like sherbet neon pastel colors. I love a rainbow. I love pastels, and I love the brightness of this as well. So I picked up 3 skeins of the singles, and then the ruffle part is, I don't know where my label just went. It's okay. The ruffle part is in a mohair. So I also have this beautiful mohair color. I'm not really that excited to wind this up. I think I remember in the past winding, I think for my love note, winding the mohair was not so fun. But it's so soft, and the ruffle's gonna be so pretty. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have a good amount of this left over, so I will definitely be using this maybe in another project from here. There's a top where it is like striped with another color. So maybe what I'll do is I will pick like a pastel color that's in here, but a solid version, and maybe make a striped top with it. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see how much I have left over when I get there. But oh my goodness, I have started it, and I'm not super far in. I'm just trying to make sure. All right, there we go. So the ribbing, I've got the ribbing done, and let me uncurl it here from the cord. And I've got maybe an inch of the actual stockinette done. For the ribbing, I did not alternate skeins. I was kind of curious to see what the skein looked like on its own as it was knitting up by itself. But I decided for when I switched to just the regular body that wasn't ribbing anymore, the plain stockinette, that I was gonna alternate skeins. So that's what I am doing now. And it is so fun. I love how bright and happy the neon color is, and I have no idea how this is showing up on camera. So I'll try to take some pictures as well before I pack everything up, and so that in case it doesn't show up very well, I can insert the photos and show you guys what the actual color is really looking like. But it is so happy. I was a bad girl. I was naughty. I did not swatch. I just cast on. So I think I cast on, usually I cast on for the size 3. I think that's what I cast on for. I might have cast on for the size 4, either the size 3 or size 4. So I'll know once I figure out what my stitch count is. But, oh, and now we've got the ice cream man coming again. It's a real podcast, you guys. All of the things are starting to happen. Oh my gosh. When I move to my new place, I don't know if we're ever gonna have that ice cream man interruption again, because we're on a busier street. So I don't know if the ice cream man goes down that street. But it is spring. I love it. It is, I'm so happy when I'm sitting outside talking about knitting, spinning. Oh my gosh. Here it is. It's really close now. And so the other thing I wanted to show you guys is that I was inspired to dig out one of my new Katrinkles cat collection stitch markers, because I knew that there was a iridescent one, and with all of the neon pastel colors, I thought, how cute was that going to be? So I've got 2 stitch markers, and I've got this one for my beginning of round, and then there's another one on the other side. So I'm sure that at some point there's going to be some shaping on either side, and that's what this one is for. It's just kind of at the halfway point. But yeah, so this is making me so happy, and this is a very mindless knit. It's like, I don't know, just gonna be bottom up stockinette for a while until I get to the point where we mark placement for the ruffle and do the lace for the yoke. So yeah, there's, you know, the projects, I'm good with them both ways. Sometimes you start out with all of the fun stuff, and then the whole rest of it is just the mindless stockinette that, you know, can sometimes seem tedious, but other times seem relaxing. And I am just really happy to be starting out with a mindless stockinette right now, because my work schedule is pretty busy and I just don't really want to think, but I definitely want to knit on some new projects. So I am perfectly fine with like working on a stockinette body in the rounds right now, and then having that lace portion where I'll have to concentrate much more to really look forward to. So, oh my gosh, it's just so happy. And so I've got these two skeins. This one's smaller because I did the ribbing in it, but I've got these two that I'm working from right now, alternating every round. I'm not doing helical knitting because I am lazy right now, and I've never done it before and just didn't feel like figuring it out on this particular project. I just kind of wanted to knit. A little side seam doesn't bother me, so yeah. And I think that because this isn't stripes or anything like that, just alternating at the every time you get to the start of the round is going to be fine. I don't, you know, because sometimes with stripes, maybe on my next stripe project I'll try helical knitting out so that you don't get that jog where it is a little bit not lined up. But for this one, I think it's just going to be perfectly fine. So I'm just alternating every round, and I've got a couple inches, and yeah, these colors are making me so happy. I definitely don't have any knit projects that are pastel. This is pretty much as bright as I've got. So yeah, so this is going to be a nice change for my wardrobe. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get this done fairly quickly, because it does have elbow length sleeves, and I would like to be able to wear it without being too hot pretty soon. Calling for the dog next door. So, all right, so that is everything I've got to say about my Effervescent tea. So last Friday, Laura from Penrose Knits released her Souffle Tea, and this was a true stop, drop, and knit project, because the moment it was released, I bought the pattern, and then the very next day after work, I went over to my LYS in Huntington, the Knitting Garden, and I picked out the mohair for it. I do not have mohair in my stash, so whenever I want to knit a project that requires mohair, I actually have to go shopping. And I just dropped it. Hold on. That's another part of the Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast that happens frequently around here, is that I tend to drop things all the time. So after work on Friday, I went over to my LYS, and I knew that they had the Lang lace, which is the same yarn that Laura used for hers. And I didn't intend to get the same color. I think that this is the same color. I don't really know because it only has color numbers, but this is color 70701. And so it looks really similar to the color that Laura used for her sample, but I kind of looked at all of the different colors that were available in the shop, and I was choosing between this and a black and also a really pale lavender. Usually I would go for the purple, but I wasn't sure that was going to, I thought maybe it might be too washed out because it was super pale. So I decided to go with this one. And I'm also tempted when I finish this one to also knit one in black, because as a musician, I need black tops in my wardrobe all the time. And this one is a little bit fancier because I'll insert some pictures it's so cute. So the top of it is sheer around here, and then there is a ruffle that goes across all the way from the arm, like all the way probably right about here. And then the whole, so this part is sheer, it's knit with a single strand of mohair, and then underneath the ruffle, I think including the ruffle and then down, is knit in both like two strands of mohair knit together. So I thought it would be really beautiful in black. One of her test knitters knit a sample in black too. So I'm tempted to knit 2 of these and have one that I can wear when I have some gigs and need to wear black on top. But for the first one, I'm feeling spring right now, and I've never knit a black sweater, but I'm always saying that I should. But I knew that I wanted this one in a nice flirty, springy color, and yeah, I knew that. Like, I didn't want the black one to be my first version of this. So there might be 2 of these happening. So I picked up 4 of these, and before I even show you guys what I've done so far, I had the most fun experience at the yarn shop. I was leaving, and Eva, one of my viewers who I had never met before, chased me out of the store. I was like, Lisa. I was like, what? And then I turned around and I walked. She's like, are you Lisa from the Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast? It's like, yeah. And so I crossed back over the street and we chatted for a little while. I had been wearing my mask in the store, so she said she didn't recognize me at first, but she recognized my voice. And then, she asked Joanna over at the shop if it was me, and she put it together. And she's like, I've got to go say hi. And Eva, I am so glad that you did say hi. That made my whole day. I called my husband, who didn't even know that I was stopping at the yarn store, so I had to come clean about that fact that I was buying mohair unexpectedly. But I was just too excited. I was like, you'll never believe what just happened. I was recognized. I met one of my viewers, and it was amazing. So I met a viewer in the wild. That was so much fun. So yeah, that was awesome. So we chatted for a few minutes, and yeah, totally made my afternoon. So I got home, and that evening I cast on the Souffle Tea right away, because I also have another little rule for myself right now. I have so much stash that if I am going to purchase new yarn, it really has to be for a project that I am going to cast on immediately or within like 2 weeks. Like something that is high on the list of knits. I don't need to add to my stash, so if it's like something that I'm not going to be knitting right away, then I'm probably going to try to avoid just needless purchases right now. But if we are traveling, I'm allowed to buy things and not necessarily have an immediate plan for them, because that's just travel shopping, which is totally different, right? We're gonna be traveling down to North Carolina early May for my sister-in-law's college graduation, and on the way home on Mother's Day, we will be driving by Alexandria. And so my husband said, you know, we're gonna be in the car all day on Mother's Day. Do you wanna see if that shop is open? I said, you mean Fiberspace? He said, yeah. So I emailed them, and they will be open on Mother's Day. So I will be making a stop in Fiberspace in Alexandria, Virginia on Mother's Day. So if any of you guys are there and want to meet up for a little bit, we will be driving through, and yeah, he's gonna buy me a little bit of yarn for my Mother's Day present. So I'm so excited about that. But I'm sure you guys want to see the progress I've made. So this is what I have so far. Let me turn it around because I want to show you my other little Katrinkles stitch marker on here. I put the Effervescent one on for this project. So the beginning of the yoke is knit back and forth flat. And now that I have joined in the round, I see exactly why, because this slit here is going to form the keyhole for the back. So I'll put a little picture of the back of the sweater too. So there's going to be a button here. So this is the back top. So this is, I'm knitting down. It's a top down knit. So I just connected this in the round yesterday, and I am now up to, I think, like increase number 4 maybe. And yeah, so it is like this. I think I've got about 3 inches knit so far. So that, yeah, there's not too much to show, but it is so soft and it is so pretty, and I'm so excited. So this is only my 2nd time knitting with mohair, and I love it. It is so much fun. So I just hope that I don't make any mistakes, because I really don't want to have to rip anything out, because mohair is so sticky. So yeah, so I've got a few inches, about 3 inches on both of my brand new cast-ons. And all right, I have another thing that I am going to be casting on maybe tonight, because I just have to wind the yarn for it. So let's head into Knitworthy. So it's been a little while since I've had a Knitworthy segment, but this segment is when I knit projects for people other than myself, somebody that is knitworthy. Mostly it is always going to be either my husband or my son. So in this case, it is for my son. And so what happened, this was totally an unplanned project. So my husband has been reading this zombie goldfish series at bedtime with Owen. And this, I want to say this is book number 4 in the series, maybe. But he was just like, Owen fell asleep, and then he was flipping in the back of the book, and he came across Knit Your Own My Big Fat Zombie Goldfish. There is a knitting pattern in my child's book, you guys. So all of these books, each series has like different like fun things in the back of the book, and for this book it was a knitting pattern. So he brought this out to me after bedtime, and he said, Lisa, you are never gonna believe what is in the back of Owen's zombie goldfish book. So then he flipped to it and he's like, it's a knit your own zombie goldfish pattern. There is a knitting pattern in here. So I said, I'm on it. It's happening right away. So this was Thursday night. I looked in my stash, and of course, I guess he's orange. He's like a bright orange. I think his name might be Frankie. I have not read any of these books, but I think yesterday they referred to him as Frankie. So we're gonna go with Frankie right now. How fun is this gonna be, guys? So let me put a close-up. This is just the things that you need, so I'm not giving anything away, but this is a pattern by Holly West, and I found her. She doesn't have a lot of patterns. She is on Ravelry. She's got 2 designs on Ravelry, but she's actually, I guess, a fiction crime writer. So she's got some crime books. I love crime books, but I love true crime a lot. It seems really creepy. I'm fascinated by all of the stories, and yeah. Anyway, I'm not really into fiction crime, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. So maybe I'll have to read one of her books too. Anyway, I needed a worsted weight orange yarn, and I said, well, let me go see in my stash what I have left over from Owen's Christmas sweater. Was a blue and orange, I know, Christmas. If you saw it, you would understand, but blue and orange. He drew a picture of a Christmas sweater, and then I knit it for him. I'll see if I can insert a picture. But it was blue and orange stripes, and I had some orange left, but I didn't really have that much left, and it wasn't going to be enough to make the goldfish. So then, of course, after work yesterday, I had to go back over to the yarn shop. This is like 3-4 days after the previous. So I went on Friday for the souffle yarn, and I haven't been there in months. And then I went again yesterday, which was Tuesday, and I said, I need to swing in. I got there right before they closed. And so I was looking for a worsted weight orange yarn. So I picked up 2 options because I didn't know what they were going to pick. So I found one Barocca Vintage, and this is a wool acrylic blend, pretty perfect for a toy. And then I found this, I don't know how to say this, Araucania Yarns Huasco Worsted. I have no idea. I've never knit with this. I've seen this brand a lot, but I've never knit with it. And so this is more of a variegated orange colorway. And so I picked them both up, and I figured whichever one I don't use, orange is Owen's favorite color. So they decided that this is the yarn for Frankie. And then I'll use this. I'll maybe probably knit him a hat or something, a hat and some mitts, or just a hat depending on how much it is. So this will be for Owen for, you know, sometime in the future. I'm not in a rush to use it. But this one, yeah, this one is definitely like a nice bright orange, and it should be enough. I think I only need one skein. If not, they had a couple more over there. So I'm gonna get this going really, really quickly. And then I think that the other things that I need are just small amounts. Let me see. Yeah, just a few yards of black and white or bright green for the face, like the eyes and stuff. So yeah, it just says one skein of bright orange yarn. So I should be good, and I've already got stuffing and all of those things. So I might cast this on tonight so that it's going, because now Owen knows about it, and I think he's excited to get his own knit zombie goldfish. So yeah, hopefully I'll have some progress on that to share with you guys next week. I have 2 more projects that I have been working on, only one of which you've seen before. So we are going to head into whips. Okay, so I am going to start with the whip that you guys have not seen yet, and that is a pair of socks for myself. And I just grabbed a skein of yarn from my stash, from my Knitterly Things sock yarn stash. And this is the color that I picked. It is really bright pastel neons, and it's got some glitter in it as well, some stellina. So this one, I told you, I have a large stash of her yarn. This is from 2018. So we're talking, it's been in my stash for 4 years, but it is the colorway called Sometimes in April. And so I thought, perfect, I will use these for my April socks. I am trying to knit a pair of socks every month. For March, the socks ended up being for Owen. I did not get a pair of socks knit up for myself in March, but that's okay. These are going to be for me, and I decided to try a new sock pattern. So I usually just resort to the same few patterns because they fit me well, but I just wanted to try something new. I had already, though, just cast on for like a normal vanilla sock. So I said, all right, what can I do that would be a different something or other for the heel that I haven't done before? And so I decided to test out my Autumn Acorns Magic Heel pattern. I don't know her actual name. I just know that she is Autumn Acorn. And she has a podcast, I believe. And so basically, it's like a vanilla sock. Her pattern is written 2 ways. So I purchased her pattern, and like she uses kind of scrap yarn for it. So she's got very specific instructions on how many rows to knit of one color and when to switch to the next. And I think it's like 4 colors or something. But then she gives instructions for just making the same sock out of a single skein, which is what I wanted to do. So you can do the same sock, but in a solid color, or like I was doing a self-striping yarn. So all I needed for the instructions was for the heel. And so basically, it's a plain vanilla sock, and then instead of doing any shaping whatsoever for the heel, it's ribbed. And then it's basically after a certain length, you go back to like, you know, do the foot and whatever. So it's a paid for pattern, so I hope I'm not really giving too much away, but she does have very specific instructions if you wanted to make like a scrappy version of it. But so I am all the way through the heel, and I am now working on the foot. I've got a couple more inches to go before I am going to do the toe. So I'm really curious to see how these are going to fit. I think that this might be a really great pattern to use for socks for Owen, because of the way that the heel is. Like, the heel can really sit anywhere where this ribbing is. So if I make the ribbing part long enough for him, like, it could kind of like the position of his heel could shift as his foot begins to grow more. So maybe his socks would last a little bit longer. So I don't know. I'm going to maybe try this pattern for his next pair of socks and just see how those fit. I like that there's a little bit of ribbing to it to help just get around that area, but that it's not so specific with heel shaping. I love turning a heel and doing all the heel shaping. That is actually my favorite part of knitting socks. But to have like a mindless sock on the go and to just not have to think, this is really a great option. But I'm definitely curious to see how it's gonna fit. I'm curious to see how the heel is going to wear. Because yeah, I just don't know. I have knit a couple of pairs, maybe 2 or 3 pairs of the Vanilla is the New Black sock heel pattern, which also uses ribbing on the heel, but it's a, you know, it's a different, there's shaping involved in a chart and everything with that one. But so they're different. So I don't know, those have been holding up just fine. So I'm just really curious about this. And oh my gosh, I'm not doing sock madness, but on the subject of socks, one of the patterns that is currently out for people signed up for Sock Madness and will be coming out when that round of Sock Madness is over in maybe, I want to say I might have to wait until June or something. But I saw the cutest pair of socks. I'll put a picture in. It was like plaid pocket socks. I don't know if that's the specific name of it or not, but they were plaid socks and there was a little pocket on the side. And I don't know like why I would ever need a little pocket on the side of my socks other than it's so stinking cute. And so those are a pair of socks I'm gonna want to knit. They were absolutely adorable. So those are on my list of socks to knit once I can get my hands on the pattern. Yeah, so these socks are gonna be, I should finish this sock definitely by the end of this weekend. I'm only a couple inches away and I'll get going on the second one, and then yeah, maybe I'll be casting on a pair for Owen so that I can see how he likes the way that this style of sock fits. And yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. Let me know if you guys have ever knit the Magic Heel sock pattern by Autumn Acorn and what you guys think about the fit and how they're holding up and all of that. I would be interested to know. I am having so much fun podcasting today. Can you guys tell my energy is like way up? I think it's just having so many new projects and just that spark of excitement that you get with a brand new cast on. And then I've got at times like a few different things because it's not that I really had startitis, it's that I kind of, limited myself for so long. And now, oh my goodness, I am now sharing with you guys another project I'm super excited about, but this one you have seen because it has been on my lingering whips list. And this is my Modernist cardi. It is a pattern by Renee Callahan, and I have made some really nice progress on this top. All right. The construction is so cool, you guys. It is so fun. So first, what I did was there's a provisional cast on in the center back. Okay, and then you knit around the left side of the cardigan. I'm gonna see if I can find exactly where the center is here. So I can, there we go. Let's get this going. So you do the center back, and then you knit all the way like around the shoulder and down the front portion, including the neckband and the collar. And you do all kinds of shaping, and it goes to there. And then you pick up that provisional cast on from the back, and then you do the same thing on the other side. So I have finished all of that, and now I am working on the back. So she has you place a couple of markers, and then you pick up in between the markers. So this is upside down now. So now we are here, and I am up to, so this is, pretend that's my back. All right, I'm just holding it a little higher so you can see it on the camera. So I picked up in between the markers, and I have knit only the first like 3 rows of the back. So what's next is to do the underarm shaping. There's like some increases and stuff for the underarms for like the next inch or so. And then after that will be the rest of the body will be knit, and then I will have the ribbing to do for the hem, and then you pick up and you knit the sleeves, and then that's it. And then I've got a cute little cardigan, and I am so excited. I love this yarn so much, so much. Oh my goodness, this is, where did it go? Because I dropped it and it rolled away. Oh, and I just kicked my tripod. I'm so sorry. All right, so this is what I've got left from, it's like wrapped all the way around my foot. Oh my goodness, what a mess. Okay, so I'll dig out the skeins because I really enjoy showing you this yarn in particular. So this is what it looks like caked up, right? And I'm gonna dig it out now. So this is what it looks like. I've got 2 left. I've got to roll up, wind up the second skein pretty soon. But it comes, it comes like this. So this is Wonderland Yarns, and this is, they provided the yarn for me because I am a brand ambassador for them. And so they sent this to me several months ago, and I've been kind of slowly working my way on this cardigan. And this, I chose their Cheshire Cat base, which is a light fingering weight yarn. So it's 512 yards, and it's 100% superwash merino. It's one of their color burst yarns, and Splashing Through Puddles number 19 is the color that I chose. This was one of the brand new colors from this past autumn. So you get it, and basically, I'm going to show you guys this every time, but I know that there are probably a few new viewers here. So it's basically all purple except for a really fun burst of color. So Renee had used a similar style of yarn for her cardigan. So I knew when I saw this color burst yarn that this cardigan would be a great match for the type of yarn, the way that it was dyed. And it is just, I love it. I love the way it's knitting up. And it's really interesting to see like how the lines change with all of the shaping in Renee's pattern, because there's a lot of short rows. This is not a mindless stockinette project at all, at least not thus far, because there's just so much fun shaping to do. So the knitting is very simple, but it's not like you just knit for X amount of inches or anything. You are constantly paying attention and counting for wrapped stitches and that kind of thing, and how many repeats of a couple of rows you're going to do for shaping and all of that. Just love these colors. It makes me so happy. So yeah, so I've got all of those projects. What did I show you guys? Like 5 projects, 3 new ones, including that fish that I have to cast on very soon, and then the socks. So I've got 2 spring sweaters going, and then I've got this lightweight cardigan, which I'm so excited about. And I've been spinning, and I'm getting so excited just about doing all of the things again. I am putting my natural dyeing on hold until we are settled in our new place, and then I plan to actually finally photograph all my yarn and get listings up for the shop and get that going. I've got about 6 weeks off in between this spring semester at my job and when I am needed back to get going for the fall semester. So I'm going to be really focusing those 6 weeks on getting the shop set up and listings up and getting dyeing again and exploring with Owen, and I'm so looking forward to this nice weather and to being in a new place and just getting it all sorted out. So that being said, I am ready to talk about spinning, and then there is a really teeny tiny acquisition section. Super tiny, but yeah, super cute. So I have been working through 2 fibers from autumn, like with autumn colorways. And these have been projects that have been going since the autumn, and I lost my spinning mojo for several months over the winter, just because spinning is an activity that I tend to do outside in the nice weather. So even though it's been a little chilly out here until today, I have been coming outside and I have been spinning more, and I have been really focusing on spinning up this fiber. This is the Sweater Weather colorway, and it's a Polworth silk blend from Frabjous Fibers. They also sent this to me to spin. Frabjous Fibers is part of Wonderland Yarns. So this was provided for me to spin up. And can I just, like, it matches this particular spindle, which I have no idea what kind of spindle it is. I'm so sorry. I got it at a fiber festival and have no idea who made it, but it matches so perfectly. So I have 2 bumps left to spin completely from start to finish, but I started plying my singles together. So this is what I have left after plying. So these are singles right here, and it's so pretty. But I plied it together because I was so excited to see what it looks like. And I've got like this not so small skein so far. This isn't even half of the fiber, and I am estimating, because I wrapped it on my Nitty Knotty, and so my rough estimate, that's not a word, I don't think, but it's not the word I'm looking for. Estimate. There we go. My rough estimate of yardage is 130 yards. Maybe a sport weight, not really sure. Fingering to sport. And oh my gosh, it is so pretty. But it is very autumn, so we're doing like a flashback to autumn right now. And yeah, this is just what it's looking like so far. So I was really excited to actually start seeing what the finished product was going to look like. I almost said project. I guess kind of finished. I mean, it won't be a finished project until I actually turn it into something, right? But yeah, I had a couple singles, and I don't know, I was just in the mood to do some plying the other day, and so I'm so excited. I have not finished this yarn yet, and that means that I have not set the twist by wetting it and hanging it to dry, anything like that. So this is just, I plied it and then I just wrapped it up like this, and I have not yet done anything with it. I probably will wait to set the twist until I do the rest of it. Is that a bad idea? I have no idea if that's a bad idea. I've never plied my yarn before I have finished spinning all the singles before. So I don't know if that's gonna make a difference or if I can just wait. I've always just waited and plied it all, set the twist when all of my plying was finished. So, and then The other autumn yarn that I am still working my way through is this fiber from SweetGeorgia, and I think it's alpaca, merino, and silk, right? Yeah, alpaca, merino, silk is the base here. And it's 50% alpaca, 30% merino, and 20% silk. And this is called Falling Leaves Colorwork. So both of these, obviously very autumnal. So I'm still working my way. I think this is bump number 3 so far. And so I've got that much done. And then I have just this much done. This is the 4th bump. I had split the braid into 4, what I call bumps. And then these are the singles that I have finished so far. So I've got 3. I have 3 of these, and I have not plied any of this together yet. But I'm really motivated to get done at least with one of these projects because I got Paradise Fibers in the mail. So let's go into acquisitions. The first acquisition is going to be spinning related, and then the second one is knitting related. So let's go ahead into acquisitions. So I got my Paradise Fibers in the mail a few days ago, Monday maybe, and maybe it was Friday. No, yeah, it was Friday. And this is what it came in. So I have an unboxing video up, so I am not going to talk about it here. I'm just going to show you the colors is what I am so excited to share with you guys because they're so fun. And there is a project, so they always send a recommendation for pattern that once you spin the fibers up, you could knit into it so that you have an idea when you go into spinning the fiber what weight you want to spin it, because what you might want to knit out of it. If you have an idea of that, then I guess I can show you really quickly. Then it just kind of helps guide you for spinning it. And so the pattern that they included was a Joji Locatelli pattern. So this is her Odyssey shawl. So this is free on Ravelry. You guys can go download this. And I definitely am planning to try to make this project with this fiber that they sent. And so this is how they spun up the fiber that they sent. They did a gradient so that you're spinning, I'll show you, so that you're spinning and plying in a specific way. So the first one that I opened was this one, and I think it's merino, right? Yeah, this one is 75% merino and 25% viscose tweed neps. And so this one is called Cherry Blossom. And I opened this, and you guys know my colors. Oh my goodness. Just, it's so gorgeous. So I was like, I opened this one and I wanted to spin this right away. And then I opened the other fiber and I got confused because I wanted to spin this one right away too. And so the other one that they sent was this one, which is so pretty too. And oh my goodness, so pretty. And there's a little stellina in here. This one is 60% merino, 25% tencel, 10% sari silk, and 5% glitter stellina. So what they did to create the gradient yarn is they tell you how to split this up into, I think, 3, so that you're spinning 3 singles of each of these, and then 2 of them, so you're going to apply them 2 together of just this color, 2 together of just this color, and then the remaining single from each color you apply together, and that's how you get like the gradient from these. So I'm so excited to try that. Oh my gosh. So I'm really trying to get my spindles freed up so that I can get going on this as well. I'm so excited for it. So I might abandon my autumn spinning, like partially, like halfway through. I might just finish up the singles and then wait to ply the other ones, or I might just finish plying what I've already spun in singles and not start yet on the singles for the rest of it, so that I can get going on this. It's just so springy and so happy, and I just, while I'm in the spring mood with all the fun springtime colors and everything, I am just excited to get working with the spring fibers. So, I mean, they're both merino mostly. It's still all wool, but the colors are just, they're happy. And the other colors, I love autumn is my favorite season. So I'm really always happy to work with autumn colors. I don't know, but the spring ones are just really calling me right now. All right, so that is my spinning acquisition. And I just have one thing left to share with you. And as I said last time, I don't order from Katrinkles very frequently, but I had to order from her again. So the last time I placed a really big order with her for the cat collection 2.0 that she put out. And then she also does a stitch marker of the month set, and you could either sign up for her club and just automatically get them every month, or you can, like, she'll show them at the beginning of the month, and then that's just, you have that month to purchase them, and then that's it. So the sun has moved and is shining on me, but we are almost done, so I'm not gonna reset or anything. So for April, her theme was mushrooms, and you guys know with all of the mushroom dyeing that I have been doing, that once I saw she had mushroom themed stitch markers, I had to, right? I mean, you guys don't blame me for this. I had to do it. So I immediately, like, I got her newsletter and I said yes. I immediately went and ordered them, like, right then and there. So these came just the other day, and I will show you what they look like. They're a little hard to see the detail. You guys can pop on over to her website, but this first one is jack-o'-lantern mushroom, and then she's got a little, it's hard to show you, lobster mushroom. And next is chicken of the woods, which I have found and I have cooked for us. I haven't dyed with those. And then chanterelle there, and then one more, well, there's two more, but and then a shaggy mane right here, which I have also found. And you can't use it for dyeing, but you can use those to make ink. And so Owen and I had a little ink thing going with some shaggy manes that I found in the fall. And then there's this cute little acrylic one, and it says mushroom dyeing on it. You can't really see it. I'm gonna see if you guys can see the cute little mushroom. So I had to get those, and then she also had, you could opt to get a tool, and so she's got this darning shroom, and I have no idea how this works, but I've never had to darn anything, but this is how it comes, and it's like two different pieces of wood, and I guess somehow they go together, and you can use these if you have socks or a hole in a garment that you need to darn. And so she's got other darning tools as well, which I am interested in getting. But she had this one, that was the mushroom, and I just said, yep, getting it, getting these, getting that. And so these were the two things that she is offering this month of April. So I wanted to share those here in case any of you were interested and wanted to pick these up before they will no longer be in her shop. So I think you have until April 30th to place an order for these, and then she's going to have a new theme for May. That, my friends, is everything that I have to share with you this week. I think you guys can see how happy I am to just have some fresh projects and to be outside in this glorious weather. So there's new things, and it just makes me so happy. I am so glad that you guys hung out with me for a little bit. I hope that if you have not already subscribed, that you will consider hitting that subscribe button and giving me a like and leaving me a comment, because I love interacting with all of you guys. And hey, remember, I'm going to be swinging through Fiberspace in Alexandria, Virginia on Mother's Day. I'm not sure what time yet, but I will try to maybe put up a stories or something that day when I have an idea of when I'm going to be there. So if any of you guys are going to be in the area and want to meet up, I'll have my husband and Owen with me, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of shopping. So I would love to meet you guys. And that is it. Dirt bikes. I don't think dirt bikes are going to be an issue in the new place. I don't think that there's anywhere behind our house that they can ride a dirt bike. So hopefully this is the last dirt bike interruption. Anyway, that is all I've got to share with you guys. I hope you have an amazing weekend and can get outside and enjoy the spring. Although if you guys are in Montana, I think you guys are getting a blizzard now. My husband was saying something about a blizzard in Montana. So yeah, let me know if you're from Montana and getting a blizzard right now, because sorry, but all right. Great to chat with you guys. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.